Beg your pardon? Meredith, who is this coarse person with the foreign accent?
Right. Buongiorno.
Yes, we come here from Marina Gardens, Italy, and
Marina God.
well, you know, Marrakesh.
It was called Milan Cortina.
Yeah,
That's what it is, yeah.
so I've made it Marina.
We've just watched Finland against all odds actually taking a medal in something.
And a toy,
Yeah.
and a cuddly toy.
I predicted they'd be fourth in this, but they got really lucky because Sweden messed up in the group stage. So they ended up getting USA in the quarterfinals. So there was no Sweden in the medal game. So they destroyed Slovakia in the bronze medal game. So that was nice. Any
Lots
thoughts?
of hot men in ice hockey. I know I seem like a vapid woman, but
No, we would never accuse you of such a thing.
shoot me.
that,
Don't shoot me,
that
please.
never even crossed anyone's mind.
Mm.
I will say something before. So, dream final tomorrow in ice hockey, which we did predict Canada USA, but I will say that the refs will ruin it because I've watched this entire tournament and the refs were dangerously bad. Like they were missing plays where people were actually risking getting seriously injured. No penalty, nothing. Like awful, awful. They made the Canada Finland semifinal controversial. I mean, Canada was the better team and deserves to be in the final, but still, it ended on controversy because they don't know what they're doing. So they'll ruin someone's day tomorrow. Also, the International Olympic Committee, when it comes to TV viewership and ad revenue and everything, they got the biggest dream they could get, a Canada USA men's ice hockey final on the final day. And guess what time they scheduled it?
1 p.m.
Yeah, local time, so 5 a.m. Pacific time in the US. The entire west coast of the US, 5 a.m., 8 a.m. East Coast.
Oh.
Yeah, unbelievable. And no wonder the NHL has fucking hated dealing with these people because they're just all corrupt mafia guys who like to pocket money. That's why all the Olympics are in weird dictatorships like China and Italy.
Oh yes, such a big. Yeah, are we talking about like Napoleon or current?
No, I was more thinking that Italy is quite open to a certain type of corruption from organized crime, especially.
Oh, hashtag
Yeah,
the family.
yeah.
And also, I really liked the snowboarding, and that was really cool. And there's a snowboarding competition today in Boston, by the way.
Today in Boston.
Yeah.
What, for like the second-rate people who didn't make the Olympics?
Well, they've all finished, so they can go over there.
Oh, that's a bit disrespectful. So, like, the snowboarding people are all getting high because they are all getting high because I think they can't get high in the lead up, in the lead up to the Olympics. So they're all smoking weed in Boston while their compatriots are still battling for medals. Other storylines, by the way, Great Britain now a major powerhouse in the Winter Olympics.
Are you being honest?
I mean, way more medals than traditional winter sports powerhouses like Finland, for example.
Yeah.
Maybe now that Britain's such a powerhouse in the Winter Olympics, maybe now we can stop shutting down the airport and the entire goddamn economy every time it rains for 50,
No,
every time it snows for 15 seconds.
No, because they train in Canada, and for the bobsleigh they train in Norway.
Yeah.
Do you know what they train on in Scotland? A train track thing.
Of course they do. Train spotting probably as well.
Yeah.
Heroin. Yeah.
Oui.
Well,
Um.
just for the British authorities, you do know that there are functioning airports in like Toronto and Helsinki and Lapland and even Alaska that don't close when it snows. Just an idea.
Can't be bothered to buy snow clearers, whatever they're called.
Yeah. And that would make sense if it snowed once every 10 years, but it snows every single year at every British airport. So this is anyway, other storylines from the Olympics from our preview. Everyone hopefully listened to our figure skating preview. In the end, I was right. There was controversy with the judging. Apparently, it wasn't a corrupt Yugoslavian judge, like I said. It was a corrupt French judge who who ruined the ice dancing final. And based on my casual, not non-expert analysis, I watched a slowed down version of both dances. The French made way more mistakes and errors than the American couple.
I watched it too. They were good.
Ah, they were good, but they weren't as good as the
I
Americans.
think they were better.
Well, that's some of that weak liberal Europeanness in you.
Yeah.
Other things from the Olympics. Apparently, they used up all the condoms in the Olympic Village in like the first 5 days.
Is that actual athletes?
Yeah, over 10,000 condoms used. I doubt they were making water balloons out of them, but
There's so much plastic.
you think that maybe they were made of bamboo
Or
like
plastic, is it? So
elephant
it's latex.
rubber. It's plastic, and it's some dolphin.
Carbon footprint. Oh my god.
Yeah, some dolphin out there is having it shoved up its blowhole as we speak. Which is ironic, because that's where it also came from, out of someone's blowhole. So
What do you mean?
from blowhole to blowhole.
Fertile women's parts.
I didn't say women's. There's men on men sex included in those condoms.
Well, any of them. They don't have blowholes. Blowholes are respiratory. You're
Okay.
being
All right now.
inaccurate.
Yes, so a lot of fucking went on, and then a lot of fuckery. Since the Russians have been shut out of the games, the Norwegians we knew have the best doping now, and also the most money, and the best drugs, and that we knew. But Canada is the new villain. They really took up the role of the villain from the Russians, and they've been cheating in every sport.
Criminals.
Yeah, I just hope that in tomorrow's ice hockey final that the big brother gives them a nice spanking for their bad behavior in the curling. There was a man fingering his own rocks in the curling.
Can't go around doing that, can you?
No. A Chinese sabotage in the speed skating. Did you see that?
Oh yeah. Poor guy. Ridiculous that he had to go around again on his own.
Oh my God. So there was one of the gold medal favorites, a Dutch guy. He was going around the thing, and he was having the best time of anyone who had skated to that point, and he was clearly going for gold. And this Chinese guy who had no chance was skating with him and just clipped him, basically tried to trip him, sabotaged him, so that the other Chinese guy who did have a chance could win a medal. And in order to rectify this, the people let this guy who had put his life and soul into this one performance around the track, 15 minutes later, they let him skate again on his own.
Lap of shame.
Which is like, what? With all those lactic acids in your muscles, like he didn't come within 15 seconds of anyone else on the second go around. It's ridiculous. He should have had like 12 hours of rest.
They should have all done it again.
The whole thing again. And the thing that makes it worse is, do you know why they skated in pairs in the first place?
No, I do not.
It's just so that this kind of drama can happen for television. Because actually it's a time trial sport where the best time wins the medals.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for them to be doing this in pairs in the first place. Yeah. Just disgusting stuff. But I not to offend 1.5 billion people here, but from certain Chinese Communist Party policies in sports before, I'm not that shocked that they did this kind of stuff. But Canada, really, I'm disappointed. Our friends, we have some listeners in Canada. Our friends, oh, Canada is all I can say to them.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, but say it judgmentally.
What were you thinking
Canada.
of?
Yeah. Oh, Canada.
Canada.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Justin Trudeau or Trudeau or whatever, because he's like a good guy looking, but he's secretly a bit dodgy.
Oh, the slime ball. Oh, yeah, I just knew him as the slime master flex. Yeah, he was disgusting. If you haven't seen them yet, check out the American speed skating team's outfits. It is a cross between Captain America or some other superhero and a literal human male sperm. They were incredible, incredible outfits. They win the outfits even above all the figure skaters. Um, there was a Ilya Malinin backflip, so shout out to Emily, our figure skating expert. If you bet on that, then a house is on Emily. So there you go. And I never bragged that I actually did call the Seahawks once the playoffs teams were cleared. I believe, say on the show that the Seahawks, out of all those teams who made the playoffs, would win the Super Bowl, and they did. So some more houses given out for free if you put any matchsticks on those bets. Ilya Malinin backflip and Seahawks Super Bowl. But actually, the number one story is none of these things from the Winter Olympics. Now, do you want to do a story corner with Uncle Danny? I think I did well when I told you that story about Freddie Mercury and his Persian heritage.
Can you do the once upon a time bit?
Well, you judge the story after it's over, okay? So I want to tell you about a guy. Have you ever heard of a guy called Anthony Kim?
No.
Sounds like a finance guy from Los Angeles or something. Well, he could be, because we don't know what happened to him. So, Anthony Kim, think about the weirdest era in the history of golf, which was the Tiger boom had already happened. Tiger had already won the vast majority of the majors that he was going to win. He obviously had the comeback major win in 2019 at the Masters. But say around 2008, 2009, 2010, the most exciting name in professional golf was this guy called Anthony Kim, American guy. He was exciting to watch. He was a bit wild in his press. His whole image was a bit of a wild man, kind of like a young tiger in a way. And he was good. He was winning. He's famous for spanking Sergio Garcia at the Ryder Cup. And he's famous for a really exhilarating final round at the Masters in 2009, I think, where he made like 12 birdies and really was close to coming from behind and beating everybody.
That's what she said.
The lady from the American Office would have said that as well, yes. So Anthony Kim, and then in 2010, he wins the Houston Open and then disappears.
Mm.
And nobody knows what happened to him. And the rumors in the press, golf media, initially, there's all these stories that are unconfirmed, like he got injured and he took a massive insurance policy that prohibited him from playing ever again. And then he just disappeared, stayed away from the public eye. There were these like grainy shots, almost like people in the golf world, almost like trying to spot Nessie, the Loch Ness monster, like these grainy shots. Like I went to a driving range today, and this guy was striping the ball, and it sounded like no other player I've ever heard hit a golf ball. And look at him, is this Anthony Kim? And they were always from behind and always grainy, and so rumors went crazy. And then fast forward years and years, and obviously the rumors die out. People forget about him. Then he kind of reemerges in the golf media. All right, we have new potential news about him. Well, never does an interview, never says what happened. Fast forward to roughly 2020, 2021, the Saudi Golf League emerges, in which, we can bring in then themes like MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, and the whole Vision 2030 of Saudi Arabia to transition away from an oil-based economy. And sports washing has been a major part of that. Buying soccer clubs, buying, what was it, Newcastle he tried to buy, and also creating this golf league that then took off in 2022 or 2023, I think. 2024, they found Anthony Kim and gave him a contract. And Anthony Kim emerges from a decade away from the game, over a decade, and his nose is damaged. So, like, clearly, maybe cocaine addiction. He emerges as a guy who speaks very softly about what a hard time he has, but the details are very fuzzy. But he's told enough. Maybe he's waiting for a big movie deal about this story or whatever. but he emerges and he does say that addiction was a part of this decade's absence, other things, mental health, personal journeys, family tragedies, whatever. Don't know the details. But he starts playing again in the Saudi league for big money. But he's not very good. He's not very good at all. He finishes sometimes not dead last, sometimes dead last. He's clearly it doesn't have the. He's in his 40s now, by the way. He was young then, and he doesn't have the distance that the modern game requires. But he's still clearly with his irons and short game. You can see that this is the guy. This is the swing. This is the guy. This is the electric moments. There were moments. Now, fast forward to 2026, last weekend, he goes into the final round of a Saudi Live Golf League tournament. And the biggest one, so this golf league has been a massive failure in any commercial sense, but they don't need to be a commercial success because they got all the Saudi oil reserves in the back. They don't need to make a profit. Anyway, it's been a pretty bad golf league, but they signed a bunch of greedy star players and big names in it. And in Australia, they've been a massive success. And their biggest tournament that actually has a lot of crowd interest in the golf world is in Australia. So last weekend in the Australian tournament, he goes into the final round in the same grouping, 3-person grouping, with some of the biggest stars in the game, John Rahm and Bryson DeChambeau. And he's 6 shots behind John Rahm and Bryson DeChambeau. And this is fiction what I'm about to tell you, but he spanks them and he doesn't come close to winning. He wins by 3 shots or something, or 4 shots. He's an absolute menace in the final round. And Anthony Kim, age 40 something, from over a decade of being like one of the biggest mysteries in sports of what happened to this person, wins and wins like $4.5 million or something. I saw a tweet from him today, or whatever, an Instagram or whatever the fuck they're called now, where he said, where he tagged all the golf media and said, "Thank you for taking a shit over my name over these past few years. It really gave me motivation," or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Bigger story than anything in the Winter Olympics, including that drugged up Norwegian who won 6 golds. Because, Norway has the best drugs now.
Is this where you tell me that actually he's David Bowie?
Yeah, like he could be Elvis. Yeah, he was hanging out wherever Elvis is. That's where Anthony Kim was for a decade.
Underdog.
Underdog story. Yeah, that's how a movie is coming, most likely.
Can be.
But the golf world is still waiting for the Tiger Woods movie, to be honest. Anyway, some feedback for the podcast. By the way, I was listening to an audiobook on Audible the other day, and the Talking Ass is available there too, just in case that's something you have on your phone. We had one really fun email from Bert, and Bert just wrote in. I don't know. It went to the spam folder of the podcast email, talkingasspodcast@gmail.com for your own questions and hate mail. But I'm not sure. Anyway, I love the email, whether it's a real person or not. Looking for a great book to read. I'm open to discovering fresh voices, inspiring stories, or impactful nonfiction. If you had a book you'd like me to check out, I'd love to learn more about it. Looking forward to your recommendation. Such a sweet email. I mean, I hope this is a real person and not some kind of elaborate scam. But yeah, so Bert, what I just mentioned, the Saudi sports washing and all that, what comes to mind for impactful nonfiction is a book called Blood and Oil. By a couple of Washington Post journalists, I think, with excellently written and excellently narrated on Audible as well, the audiobook, about the rise of Mohammed bin Salman and the whole transformation of Saudi Arabia. And the sports washing we mentioned there is part of that whole thing. I think that's an excellent recommendation. And it ends a bit, obviously, around 2020 or 2021, around the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, whatever that guy, the journalist, who was chopped up in the Saudi embassy in Turkey. It ends around there, but obviously lots have happened since then. But there you go, blood and oil. You have anything?
Well, I'm reading Wuthering Heights, but I didn't Google and remind myself of what it's about before, and so I'm taking it like completely fresh, and I just know, Kathy is a big deal, Heathcliff, Kate Bush, all that sort of stuff, the Yorkshire Moors. So then I read it, like audiobook though, and it's just very like dry and grey, drab, misery sort of thing, and it feels like it's going to become a horror, but I don't think it does. But who knows? You can tell me. Um,
That's a great recommendation. Wuthering Heights and Blood and Oil. We also have feedback from Stephen. Hey man, I don't know if you've been told, but we need more of your System of a Down karaoke.
wake up.
Yeah, we didn't get any copyright strikes on any platforms for that, so maybe it was unrecognizable. We're lucky about that. I don't know enough of their songs to do anymore. I already covered the two songs I know off the top of my head, but we'll work on that. Then I wanted to address something we talked about with Christian, which is we need to start giving out book awards. And the first one we obviously are giving it to Christian Austin, who's been on the show twice. I hope you've enjoyed those episodes. And we'll give the Talking Ass non-fiction or memoir of the year to Christian Austin's book Resilient, so that he can market his book as award-winning. Because
Yeah.
now it is.
Congratulations.
That's the kind of thing we do for friends of the show. I also wanted to a couple of situations we need to monitor. Number one, I've gotten into coffee.
Yeah, that's weird. Really weird. But he has got into coffee. He has not got into learning how to hold a cup.
I like I like my coffee like I like my people. Very dark brown.
Yeah, I'm going to look past that, but it's a bit like you're a goalie, ice hockey goalie, and you're holding the coffee, but you need to still mark your goal, cover your goal, so you got your elbows out at a right angle in order to, do both.
I'm mostly just trying to avoid any kind of coffee drinking group stereotypes. So I'm definitely trying not to be the creative sitting in, Starbucks, no chains.
You're really reluctant to buy like ground coffee because that's an entryway drug into like becoming pretentious.
Yep. I can't be, being some kind of anti-Semitic communist sitting in a alternative coffee shop, eating a vegan pie and talking about things I don't know anything about. That's one group. Then I don't want to be, as our friend Stephen from the Green Hell podcast said, I also don't want to be in that like macho coffee, like black shotgun pellet coffee or whatever they call
Or
those.
like I work in finance coffee.
Yeah, well, they're the chain Starbucks guy, the drones who have like the same business backpack and the same white shirt and suit, and they're like filtering in and out of banks in the city and in and out of the tube in London with the clone coffee mug in their hands. Yeah, can't be those guys either. So really, I'm just a dark brown kind of guy at home, supermarket roast, happy with it. But as a result, I've cut down on all snacks and all unhealthy food. So I'm also very slowly but very certainly becoming very sexy again. So that's another situation we need to monitor.
There's something for debate.
How does my personality change on the show if I become all sexy?
You just like the head grows bigger and bigger each time, doesn't it?
That's true. And fat people are funnier, so there's that.
Danny, fat people have feelings.
Yes. I wanted to just because the way I actually do an episode on a topic is I force myself by mentioning an idea here in these bonus episodes, and then I kind of can't go back on my word. So I have a Kurdish episode that I'm interested in doing it. I believe a huge missed opportunity by by various countries as an ally in the Middle East. I believe they've been abandoned and really, honestly, kind of betrayed by Western countries and by Israel and so forth in the Middle East. And I heard a really painfully accurate quote that some Kurdish leader said recently, which is a Kurdish saying that now our only friend is the mountains.
That's kind of nice.
Well, not nice in the sense that now they're being slaughtered by all the ISIS prisoners that the new jihadist president of Syria has released from all the prisons. So, and we abandoned them. Anyway, that's Depression Corner. I have a couple of really fun public service announcements. You go first. I get the final word. Actually, a friend of the show gets the final word, but you get to go now.
It's the Lunar New Year. Google what your spirit horse is, because that's really fun. Bye.
Yes. One of my public service announcements is from a great classic Colombian poet that I read recently. And it goes like this. I'm lucky that my breasts are small and humble, so you don't confuse them with mountains.
Best line.
That's
Wonderful.
our South American poetry for you. Wait, one more thing before we go. Jesse Jackson, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, died. Not going to say I agreed with in recent years. Not going to say I agreed with everything he thought about various topics, but a long career as a major figure in American culture and especially in historical periods that I've been interested in. So very sad about that. And certainly, if you don't know who that is, then look it up and learn. I guess that's a serious public service announcement. Do you know what's next, by the way, Sylvie?
No, we just had one release, haven't we?
So in the spirit of the ice hockey final tomorrow, Canada, USA, I'm gonna say it in a hockey chant. Will you help me? It's engineering. Duh, 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 duh.
Oh God.
Engineering.
Yeah.
We have a really exciting guest who is actually involved with an invention of brand new robotics technology and stuff like that. It's our first ever episode for all the engineering perverts out there.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And to get you into the mood for that episode, here's friend of the show, the late great Tom Lehrer, with a banger.
And what is it that put America in the forefront of the nuclear nations? And what is it that will make it possible to spend $20 billion of your money to put some clown on the moon? Well, it was good old American know-how, that's what. As provided by good old Americans like Dr. Wernher von Braun. Gather round while I sing you of Wernher von Braun, a man whose allegiance is ruled by expedience. Call him a Nazi, he won't even frown. Nazi schmatzi, says Wernher von Braun. Don't say that he's hypocritical, say rather that he's apolitical. Once the rockets are up, who cares where they come down? That's not my department, says Wernher von Braun. Some have harsh words for this man of renown, but some think our attitude should be one of gratitude, like the widows and cripples in old London town, who owe their large pensions to Wernher von Braun. You too may be a big hero, once you've learned to count backwards to 0. In German or English, I know how to count down. And I'm learning Chinese, says Wernher von Braun.